African news update on top accolade news. The headlines. Senegal Lawmaker calls for high treason charges against ex-President Macky Sall. Mozambican security forces accused of abuses during election protests. Lesotho faces economic crisis. Belarus and Zimbabwe set to sign new bilateral trade agreements. In politics, Senegal lawmaker calls for high treason charges against ex-president Macky Sall. In Senegal, a major political storm is brewing as a lawmaker formally seeks to indict former President Macky Sall for high treason. The proposal follows explosive findings by the Court of Auditors alleging serious financial crimes during his time in office, including embezzlement and forged state documents. While the Justice Ministry is currently investigating financial misconduct, officials say high treason charges aren't off the table. If approved by Parliament, this could lead to an unprecedented trial before the High Court of Justice, marking a turning point in Senegal's democratic history. Still in politics, Mozambican security forces accused of abuses during election protests. Mozambique has witnessed a wave of protests triggered by disputed election results and mounting public frustration over socio-economic conditions. From October 21, 2024 to January 24, 2025, citizens across the country took to the streets to demand accountability and reform. However, instead of upholding the right to peaceful assembly, Mozambican security forces reportedly responded with excessive force, mass arbitrary arrests, and widespread suppression of civil liberties. Human rights monitors have documented violent crackdown on demonstrators with credible allegations of beatings and detentions without due process. In addition, disruption to internet access during the protests raised concerns about possible collaboration between authorities and internet service providers to curb the flow of information. The crackdown has drawn international condemnation with calls for accountability and the protection of fundamental human rights. Shifting focus to economy, Lesotho faces economic crisis. A major economic blow has hit Lesotho after US President Donald Trump imposed a sweeping 50% tariff on the country's exports, effectively ending decades of duty-free access under AGOA. This sudden move threatens to wipe out over 12,000 textile jobs and ripple through the economy. Lesotho's trade minister confirmed emergency negotiations are underway with Washington, and the government also shift focus towards South Africa to stabilize the exports market. The loss of US trade has sparked fears of a deeper financial crisis, with factories bracing for mass layoffs and businesses facing shutdown. Still in economy, Belarus and Zimbabwe set to sign new bilateral trade agreements. Belarusian foreign minister is in Zimbabwe for a working visit aimed at strengthening economic and diplomatic ties. Kicking off his trip with a tour at an agro-machinery, he praised the company's role in modernizing Zimbabwe's agriculture with Belarusian technology. The visit includes talk with top Zimbabwean officials and meeting with the president in Gangwa, with several cooperation deals expected to be signed. You are watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. In conflict, RSF forms parallel government. 2 years into Sudan's brutal civil war, the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces have declared the formation of a rival government, deepening a conflict already labeled as the world's worst humanitarian crisis. RSF leader Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo claimed his group is creating the only realistic future for Sudan, pledging essential services and a state governed by law and not individuals. The announcement came as the UK hosted a high-level conference marking the war's anniversary, where Foreign Secretary David Lammy called for urgent global action and a pathway to peace. 8 groups reported famine-like conditions for over 700,000 people and one of rising child death, due to thirst. The African Union has insisted it will not allow Sudan to be divided by force. Moving to crime, IDF foils drone smuggling attempt at Egyptian border. Israeli troops intercepted a drone smuggling 4 assault rifles from Egypt into Israel. The military says the drone was tracked and brought down near the border before the weapons were seized and handed to the police. This comes amid a rise in drone-based smuggling from weapons and drugs to even exotic animals as authorities battle increasingly sophisticated cross-border crime operations. In entertainment, Miss Tanzania withdraws from Miss World pageant. Miss Tanzania Treason has officially withdrawn from the upcoming Miss World 2025 pageant, citing a lack of support and communication from the organizing body. Abukera said the decision was made after careful consideration, expressing she no longer felt empowered or adequately prepared to represent her country on the global stage. Despite stepping down, she affirmed her continued pride in holding the Miss Tanzania 2023 title and pledged to carry on with her advocacy work through her step-by-step initiative. The Miss World 2025 final will be held from May 7th to 31st in India. Now in sports, FIFA to monitor Zambia's rescheduled FA elections. Following guidance from FIFA, the Football Association of Zambia will reconvene its elective annual general meeting within the next 21 days after the original March 29th meeting was halted by a court injunction. FAF General Secretary Ruben Kamanga confirmed the decision, adding that FIFA has warned against any further involvement of ordinary courts, which could lead to further suspension from global football activities. FIFA's Chief of Member Association emphasized that the AGM must take place in Lusaka or its surrounding by May 10, 2025, in line with FAF's constitution. FIFA will again send observers to ensure proper conduct of the proceedings, underscoring its concerns over previous court interference. That concludes our African news updates for today. Stay tuned for more African news and development. Thanks for joining us. I am Ojarumi Okocha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.